Army Arties. Another fine day on Little Bear. We're continuing the chain plate project, and it's turning into the nightmare that I thought it would be. But it's all fun, and as with all things, once I figure out how to do it on one side, it makes it a little easier to do it on the other side. Let me show you what I'm running up against right now. Here's what I did yesterday. I found the nuts for the forward chain plate and managed to get them off. But here you can see this is the inside of the ballwork. The outside of the hull is right there. You can see the bolt poking through with the backing plate, and it's just crammed full of insulation. So I've got to dig out another 5 or 6 inches of insulation and then get a wrench up in there with enough swing room to turn the nut off. And then I have to repeat the process right up hard against the bulkhead here. There are markings on the bulkhead where the nuts are, but from the Googling I've done online, it looks like those nuts might actually be behind the fiberglass. So I'm going to move this cable out here, or cables, and then I'll probably use the fan to take good chunks out of the wood and see what damage I can do there. Now, the real challenge is out here. There's the aft chain plate, looking all smug. See it smirking there? Looks like a minion, doesn't it? And there is no mark here. This is pine tongue and groove. It the stuff up the top butts up against the bulkhead, but on the other end, it goes right past everything. So I can't just simply take it off. I think I'm going to have to cut a piece out here and try and figure out where the chain plate is and then measure down for the nuts here. And that's basically what I'm going to do, because I don't know of a better alternative. If you do, by all means, feel free to comment or message me on my blog or on YouTube. I'd certainly appreciate the leg up. In the meantime, I'm going to start hacking.
Army Archies, welcome aboard for another misadventure with Dread Pirate Biff aboard Little Bear. Today, oh, Captain, how long have we been at sea? Shut up. We haven't been at sea, we're on the Heart. How long's it been then? Never mind him. We're on the Heart. And we've got lots of work to do. Today, we're picking up where we left off yesterday, which was yesterday. Taking the chain plates off, we were, and having a hard time of it, too. So, we'll just carry on. Stick around, and you can laugh at us as we make fools of ourselves.
Actually, we are having a hard time of it. The chain plate project, I've done a bit of Googling and searching on the Westsail forums and so on, and everybody who's attempted this job agrees that it's not a fun one and difficult depending on your boat and its configuration. So I've got the forward and mid chain plate off on the starboard side, and I'm currently working on the aft chain plate. This is what it looks like at the moment. You can see I did a test drill, a pilot hole here, based on some measurements and from temperature. I wrote on my blog that I tried to grind the head off the carriage bolts and then drive it through, but there isn't enough room between the ceiling and the hull. There's only like a finger width in there, so there's no way that I was going to drive the bolt through. But when I put my hand on the ceiling, I could feel that it was hot. it was warm. So I knew that it was in this general area. And so then I did some measuring. I knew that it was 13.5 inches back from the mid chain plate, which is just on the other side of this bulkhead. And it was 8.5 inches down, which is right there. Once I got here, I realized, oh, there's nothing there, but I could see and feel the edge of the backing plate. I don't know if you can see it right there. So then I figured, well, it's about a 3-inch backing plate, and the arc of the circle is about like that. So then I guessed that it was here, and I was pretty much right on, not quite centered, not enough to get a socket over the nut. So then I expanded the hole, got the nut off, and took that top bolt off. So now I know where that's the bottom bolt. The next one up will be in here. I'll have to take some more measurements, and then the one after that will be up behind the ceiling up there. So I'm going to have to use my fane tool and get that wood out of there. And once we've done that, then the third chain plate will come off, and I'll be able to start on the port side. But now I've got a pretty good idea of how to measure, where to measure, and what to do to get those bad boys off there. So hopefully this project does not drag out for too much longer, because it's hot and uncomfortable, and I just hate tearing up the inside of my boat. I mean, it's not a super fancy luxury boat, but it's my boat, and I don't want to look like trash. So those 2 holes there, I'm going to have to plug with a bit of pine and fill them, and probably do the same on the port side over there. So I'm just going to give you a stadium seat, and you can watch me do my thing. Well, I've been relatively successful. Come and have a look at the fine mess I've made of my boat over here. See, I've got 2 bottom bolts out, and the third bolt is up there. Right there. So I had to cut the ceiling out in order to access that, and hopefully I'll be able to get that back in and repaired without making it look too incredibly ugly. In the meantime, I got to get a wrench onto that nut, get it off there. Well, we're halfway there. I've got 3 of the chain plates off out of 6, so the entire starboard side is now sans chain plates. And I'm actually kind of pleased in one way. The chain plates are not that rusty, so whoever put the thing together did a really good job of sealing and caulking. So there's a bit of rust behind them, but not tons of rust. But the Whisker State tangs had much more rust than the chain plates did. So it's very unlikely that the chain plates would have let go anytime soon, but insurance is insurance. Peace of mind is worth it, at least to me. So I'm going to get going on the port side.